Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. Today's video is brought to you guys by our friends at BetQL. Go to chatsports.com/EaglesQL/. Use discount code ChatEagles, also down below in the description box. Get 25% off any of their subscription offerings on all of the great products they present to you with our friends, again, at BetQL. More info on them and how you can get in on their 5-star bets of the week later on in today's video. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to get into the reaction of the actual game against the Bucs in just a couple of minutes here. First, though, the breaking news, it just dropped literally 5 minutes ago, right before starting to film, thank goodness. The Eagles have traded Zach Ertz. Now, in my video, I was going to talk about it, all planned out about how this was probably the last game we've seen Zach Ertz play, and yet here we are. It is official. He has been traded away to the Arizona Cardinals. He was seen crying as he was essentially, moving out or running into the tunnel after this game, and so I think he knew it probably was going to be his last game in Philadelphia. Here is the official trade. The Eagles are going to go ahead and give away Zach Ertz. They get Tay Gowan, the cornerback, and a 2022 fifth-round draft pick. That is the official compensation, and honestly, my one-word reaction to this is nice. Like, this is a good trade for Philadelphia. Regardless of how you feel about Zach Ertz, they got good compensation for him, and I'm going to talk about exactly why that's a big deal here in just 1 second. First, though, I want your one-word reaction down below right now in the comment section. Mine is nice. Like, it stinks that he leaves, because I think Zach Ertz is one of my favorite players ever in Philadelphia, one of the greatest Eagles of the past 20 years, but he was going to leave anyway. They were going to trade him. He goes to a winner now, and the Eagles get something in return. Give me your one-word reaction down below right now in the comment section. Now, my takeaway is very, very simple. This is great for Zach Ertz and the Eagles. Like I just mentioned, he goes to a winner, and the Cardinals are the only undefeated football team, and they have a chance to really do something special this year in the NFC West, and the Eagles actually get something in return. Like, literally, Philadelphia, going into this offseason, we talked about just cutting him and getting nothing in return. You get a fifth-round draft pick, which is fair, and you get a cornerback to add to the secondary. To me, it's a win-win for Philadelphia overall, and it's a good, you could have traded him to a bad football team and been like, have fun in Jacksonville, have fun in Detroit. They traded him to the Cardinals. The Cardinals proved that they're all in. Now you save cap space this year, and you prepare yourself to hopefully go ahead and give Dallas Goedert a brand new contract, as he has been looking for one over the past couple of weeks. Ertz was never a feature in this offense going into the year. He hadn't been through the injuries last year. This is a good trade for Philadelphia, even if in our hearts we are definitely bummed in terms of him being let go. Tay Gowan, again, not a lot on Tay Gowan in terms of his actual playing abilities. He's a good cornerback that can add some depth to this roster. I think they like Steven Nelson, and of course they love Darius Slay. You can see it mixed in there, especially in some dime packages, which the Eagles have not done a lot of over the past couple of weeks. Jonathan Gannon maybe has a new tool here, but cornerback depth has been a problem for Philadelphia the past couple of seasons, so getting a cornerback in return, regardless of his actual abilities, is a good thing for Philadelphia. I would have taken a fifth-round draft pick, so Gowan on top of that is just icing on the cake overall. Now, answer this question in terms of Philadelphia, and we'll go with the pinned comment down below. Let me just ask this. Are you guys going to miss Zach Ertz? If you're going to miss Zach Ertz, type Y down below for yes. If you are not going to miss Zach Ertz, then go ahead and type N down below for no. I will miss him, and so I will go down below and type Y. You guys should go down below and type Y as well. Let's just jump into it. I think it's frustrating this year, not because we're losing football games, which we are, and that obviously is frustrating, but you're losing football games, majority of them close, like it's a winnable game last night, especially there in the fourth quarter. But right now, for a 2-4 football team, we just have so many questions, right? Like, I think a lot of 2-4 football teams you're going to see after this week, because then every other team will be 2-4 with the Thursday night game. You're going to have a 2-4 team and go, okay, obviously they have this issue, they have that issue, this is a major problem, and they're a bad football team. Philadelphia, to me, is not a bad football team. They have a lot of bad characteristics, a lot of bad traits, but they're not at their core a bad football team. So you watch a game like that last night where a ton of bad things happen. Offense can't move the football. They refuse to run the football again. The defense gets shredded early, and yet you're sitting there late at night, me on the East Coast, like 11:30 at night, still staying up way past my bedtime in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes to go going, this is a 6-point game, and had they gotten a stop at Tom Brady on that final drive on that 3rd down and 10, which was a good throw by Brady, credit to the GOAT, whatever, they could have gotten the ball back and gone down and scored to win. Like, it's just so infuriating that at 2-4, 6 weeks into the season, we as Eagle fans have to continue to buy into this team, because I still think they're a good football team, and yet you watch it week in and week out and you go, why am I noticing all these issues and the coaches not being able to fix them? We're going to get into the coaches. I think that's a main issue right now in Philadelphia, but it's just getting old. It's just getting tired, and you go into that game last night almost wishing they had gotten blown out. versus having a close game where, they rip your heart out in the very, very end as you stayed up late hoping that they'll go ahead and turn it around. I do still think this is a good football team. I do still think they can kind of come into their own. They haven't even played a complete game yet, but the question is, we're at week 6, and there's only 11 weeks left. Like, how many more weeks does it take to actually get there? Okay, before we get into the coaching, because that's the main issue, we'll get into my five big takeaways as well. Go down below and answer this pinned comment after the ad break. Grade the Eagles' week 6 performance last night. I'm way down. I mean, I'm like a C-, maybe even a D+, and yet they lost by 6. Like, it's crazy. Give me your grade down below right now at the pinned comment. All right, so let's start with my first takeaway, and that has to do with coaching. I think the first couple of weeks, we were really starting to think, okay, is this a coaching issue? Is this a player personnel issue? No, this is a coaching issue. The coaching is killing the Eagles. And I can start with Sirianni, but you got to mix in Gannon as well. Both of them look lost. Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon look absolutely lost. And here's what I always tell people in terms of whenever I watch a football game, I just talk about the Eagles. I'm not a coaching genius. Like, people are saying, oh, Thomas, could you coach the Eagles better? No, I personally could not. But if there are things that I notice and you notice while we're watching the game and the coaches are not making adjustments and we can see the problems, that's when you start to kind of go, okay, are the coaches actually the right person to go ahead and lead this football team? I'll start with Gannon, move on to Sirianni in a second. Jonathan Gannon's shell defense, where he refuses to bring any sort of pressure, refuses to play any sort of man coverage, and on third down and shorts, plays off coverage. Like, I understand the concept, right? The concept of Jonathan Gannon's defense is, well, we have a great front four. They will get pressure every single time. All we got to do is sit back and play coverage, and then we're going to get a ton of interceptions, make a ton of great plays, and this defense is not going to be able to be broken. It'll bend a little bit, but not break. The problem is, at least early on, you're getting zero pressure. And when you're getting zero pressure, especially against good quarterbacks, as we've seen, Dak, Mahomes, and now Tom Brady, your defense gets shredded, as it did literally every single possession early on in this football game. Now, later on, when they started to bring pressure, things mixed up a little bit. Now, they weren't bringing a ton of pressure, only a couple of blitzes, but on those blitzes, it got Tom Brady to get the ball out of his hands a little quicker and let the corners play a little bit closer up and press man. The most infuriating thing I'm seeing in Jonathan Gannon's defense right now, besides the shell defense, snap after snap, is that on yardage plays, 3rd down and 5, 3rd down and 4, 3rd down and 7, they're playing 8 yards off the ball. Like, they're already basically conceding a 5-yard gain, and all it takes is one missed tackle, one stiff arm, and it's automatic first down. Like, I just don't understand how we can be so situationally incapable of coaching a defense that has really good players. Minus the linebackers, this is a really good defense. The secondary is playing fantastic. It's the best secondary I've seen in Philadelphia in a very long time. The front four is not elite like it should be. It's still pretty darn good. Like, it still is top 10 in the league. The linebackers are trash. You're going to have to draft linebackers, clean house. I know that. But Jonathan Gannon's scheme just makes no sense. Move over to Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni, I like him. I like the idea of him. But the play calling that we've seen so far just doesn't make sense. They are literally asking Jalen Hurts to do everything in this offense. Like, they want Jalen Hurts to be the greatest quarterback of all time, accounting for 85% of the snaps, and it just doesn't make sense. Some of these routes on 3rd down are so basic. The concepts are so basic. Like, why can't he look at some of the other very successful offenses of the National Football League and just copy them? Like, literally, you don't need to be your own guy. Just copy them. And the refusal to run the football is mind-numbing, and then just, oh, man. I don't even know. I just feel like I could rant forever and ever about Nick Sirianni. He's going to get fired if he keeps this up. Like, I think that Nick Sirianni deserves a year 2. I like Nick Sirianni, but if this keeps going, he will be fired at the end of this year. Make no doubt about it. And I'm not saying he needs to be, but it will happen. Mark my words. We'll get into some of my more thoughts here as we have a lot more takeaways, including Jalen Hurts, in just one second. First, a shout out to our sponsor for today's video in BetQL. BetQL has this thing called the Best Bets computer model, which scans a ton of different bets per year to churn out basically the best recommendations each and every week. And they are very, very accurate and hit on a bunch of their what we call 5-star bets. So go to chatsports.com/EaglesQ4/. Get started right now. Use that discount code, as mentioned earlier, ChatEagles, at payment to get 25% off any of their subscription offerings. And once you go ahead and sign up for their subscription offering, you get their bets of the week, including 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, and 1-star. So this week's 5-star bets are Arizona +3, Carolina +2.5, and then the first half under in the Rams-Giants game of under 24. And they go and explain why they think these are 5-star bets. Now, last week's 5-star bets, they hit on every single one of them. So you have to just follow their 5-star bets and you would have won some money. Houston +2. That one, of course, won. Green Bay -2 earlier on. That one won as well. And then Pittsburgh -1.5 versus Denver. I went against the 5-star bet. I bet Denver. I was wrong. I lost money. BetQL would have had me right. So sign up again, chatsports.com/EaglesQL/. Discount code ChatEagles. The link will be down below in the description box. Okay. I mentioned this a little earlier. My second takeaway, I'll say it again, we're asking too much of Jalen Hurts. My biggest fear is becoming a reality right now with Jalen Hurts, and that is that we're going to go through a whole season and not know if he's good or not. Like, if Jalen Hurts was in a competent offense, is he capable of being a starting quarterback? I think so. I know he misses throws, and that was very much highlighted the past 2 weeks where there are throws that he has got to make and decisions that are killing this football team, but he still is a baller. He still is a gamer. Him running with the football has been great, and later on in these football games, fourth quarter last night, fourth quarter against the Panthers, he's playing very, very well. I just feel like we aren't giving him the best chance to win right now, and I think that if we were having better play calls, and we were running Miles Sanders like we saw later on in that football game, you could create a balanced offense that Hurts could really, really be successful in. Again, my fear is that we're going to go through this year and not know what we have in Jalen Hurts, and then either keep him for another year, which could be a mistake because he's not capable of being a starting quarterback, or you get rid of him, and we learn to find out later on that he is fully capable and is a baller and is a beast that I was really hoping that he would go ahead and turn out to be. Let me ask you guys this. What is the Eagles' biggest problem right now? Is it coaching? Is it playing? Is it, scheming? Like what is the Eagles' biggest problem? Answer the question down below right now. Now, before we get into my next takeaway here, make sure you guys are subscribed to Philadelphia Eagles Now, as we're so close to 21,000 subscribers here on the channel. We got so many over the past couple of days. I appreciate all the new subscribers. We're at 20,948 subs, trying to get to 21K, maybe by Monday. We get to it by Monday. I'm going to talk about just how much how thankful I am for all of you guys. I am already. We're at 20,000 subscribers, but we're so close to 21,000, so I appreciate the new guys, and I appreciate the 52 that we need left to go ahead and get to 21K, as we've been trying for weeks here. We're about to do it, and I appreciate all of you guys for doing that. Okay, next takeaway is the Eagles need Lane Johnson back, and they need him back very, very soon. And I know that right now Lane Johnson is dealing with an undisclosed personal issue. It seems serious, and we respect that. But from an on-the-field perspective, they need him. Like, Mailata is a great player. He's a left tackle, though, and that, to me, is hurting this offensive line, which I think has played decent at times. It'll be a lot better when Lane Johnson is in there. Mailata's back at left tackle. I think that is the optimal setup. Now, Brandon Brooks, way from coming back, but that'll be even better when he comes back. But the offensive line to me is struggling, and there were a couple of plays last night where you kind of went, man, if only you had Lane Johnson at right tackle, and then if only you went ahead and had Mailata at left tackle, they might be able to create a little bit of pocket for one Jalen Hurts. Again, we wish him the best. We hope he comes back soon. We have no idea when he's going to come back, but again showed last night against a very good pass rush. Shaq Barrett had his way. This offensive line, to me, is struggling a little bit, and they need their star right tackle back. I hope he's okay. I hope he comes back soon. Before we get into my final takeaway here, quick shout out to our friends at BetMGM, which you can get a free year of BetQL if you sign up with our link right now for BetMGM to go ahead and get in on sports betting. Chatsports.com/EaglesMGM / link you need. You create a BetMGM account, deposit $10 into your account, bet the $10, and you receive a free year BetQL within 24 hours of your wager settling. So it's the best of both worlds. You can jump in on the fun sports betting like I do. I bet basically $10 a game, so $50 a week is what I do right now. 5 games is kind of what I throw around here, and it's just fun to kind of, have a little more invested in on a Sunday. And so jump in on betting with me with our friends at BetQL and BetMGM as well. Okay, final takeaway, and I say this kind of every single week, but it's true right now. The worst is behind the Birds. Like, this was really the hardest stretch of the season. It's done. They're 2-4. Would you like to be, 2 and 3 and 3, or 2 and 4, 3 and 3? Would have liked to have been at that point. But as you look at the schedule going forward, they are playing easy football teams. Like right now, looking at the remainder of their schedule, we'll just throw the next 5 games right here, but the only 2 teams you're going to play from here on out that are guaranteed to be in the playoffs are the Cowboys, one more time, and the Chargers. That's it. No other team on this list, and this is not just the 5, but going past the 5, are probably going to be playoff teams. That includes Washington twice, that includes the Giants twice. Like you get the Raiders next week, who are in a absolute, debacle right now in terms of what's going on in in Las Vegas. You have the Lions, not a good football team. The Chargers are good. Broncos are hit or miss, but their offense stinks, and the Saints are very hit or miss, but they can be very, very iffy with Jameis Winston. I think that right now we're really going to find out over the next 5 weeks if the Eagles are going to be a top 10 draft pick team or a wild card team, and it's going to start next week against the Raiders on the road, where they need to win in what is for sure a must-win football game. Finally here, quick glance at the NFC East. Again, this will change on Sunday once the teams play, as Dallas, of course, is going to go take on the Patriots. Washington, I don't even remember who they have. And then the Giants are going to take on the Rams. And so Philadelphia continues to be from the bottom, looking up at the rest of the NFC East. There you go. There's the breakdown. I'm as frustrated as you are. Obviously, we keep our heads up. You just want to see better coaching. Coaching is the big issue right now, and I think Philadelphia really needs to take a good long look at themselves over this 10-day period where they wait to play the Raiders next week and really start to figure out how to make this team as a whole be put in places to be successful. Again, I'm Thomas Mott, all time for today on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Plenty of great content coming up next couple of days and weeks for the channel. Again, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.